Hello and welcome to another Podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. If you're watching this on video, please note, this is not a podcast. This is a video where I talk about podcasting. If you would like to get the podcast or the old videos, that's cool. That's all you, man. Go to podcastpontifications.com. Today, I'm doing something a little different, but hopefully you'll give me some leeway to do that. You know that I'm all about advancing podcasting, making podcasting not just easier, but better in the long run. And it's business focused most of the time because my whole business is predicated on helping other businesses get their podcast out into the world. But I've kind of learned something about myself, and I tend to spiral and focus down onto one thing. And sometimes I need to sit back up and change my perspective. And the thing that made me change my perspective today was, and you're gonna laugh at this, it was actually a tweet from Jameela Jamil, which I'm probably mispronouncing her name. I'm very sorry. I don't really know her as a person. I just know her as the actress on The Good Place, and she's fantastic, and I love her. And I've been following her on Twitter because she says some pretty interesting things. Very, very forward-thinking, very much, hey, everything is A-okay. And the thing, I have to cough, and I'm just going to do it. And the thing that she has said on this one was, it's all about loving yourself, right? So basically it's love every single bit, right? So even the bits you're told were wrong, they're not wrong, they're normal, they're human. Thank your body today. It's your friend, whether or not fashion and film told you it is. And that really struck me as a thought for podcasters, working podcasters like yourself out there. My message today is love the podcast that you have. Just simply love it. If you're watching me on video, I love this t-shirt, and I decided to wear this t-shirt today. It's like 8 years old. It's ratty. It's coming apart of the scene. It's traveled around the world with me, but I absolutely love it. And I might as well lean into that particular love. Now, what that means for podcasters when I talk about love is, we get tied up on things like, how do we make, and even the premise that I said earlier, advancing podcasting means podcasters should be better, not just easier. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Evo, as I talk to myself. There are a lot of people out there. In fact, I will bet you most of the podcasts out there, they don't really want to be better. They don't. They're people who are out there who are podcasting because they absolutely love it. It is joy. It is wonderful. And so while they may want to make their show better or may not want to make their show better, even so, that's on their terms. Not some jerk like me coming along saying you have to do things this way. That's not true. I'm very fortunate that my clients that come to me want to make their shows better. They want to do things differently, and I'm happy to help them with that. But for the vast majority of people that are out there, they just want to embrace their show. I really want to take this in the direction of, I started going to the gym recently, and I'm trying to work out, I'm trying to get better. But here's the deal. I'm not going to be ripped. That's not my ultimate goal. I'm not going to have the body I never had before. That's not going to happen. That doesn't even interest me. Do I want to be a little healthier? Sure. Do I want to be more flexible? Absolutely. I want to be able to get down on the floor and play with my granddaughter? You bet. But I'm not going to be auditioning for Chippendales anytime real soon. The vast majority of people don't want to see me without my shirt on. And here's the deal. I don't and never have cared about that. Those of you who've seen me, plenty of pictures of me out there without my shirt or other articles of clothing on, clearly I don't care. So just lean into that love. If that's your podcast, if that's the podcast you're making either on the side or as your primary podcast and you just simply love it, then brother and or sister, just love it. Just lean in. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And you know this already. I'm just telling you, me, this guy who is a professional podcaster who helps businesses around the world make professional podcasts, I am very okay with you ignoring every damn thing I say. Cherry pick the information you want. Go for it, right? Just make it the way that you want to make it. And you should be proud. If you want to be proud of your show the way it is, fine. Just, do what you want to do. I am very okay with that. I'm also very okay with you cherry picking the types of content, the types of advice you want to get, right? There's no reason for you to go through a checklist of do these 10 things. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. If your goal is never getting a much, much bigger audience than you have right now, then I don't really care. And you shouldn't care that what your numbers look like. So, you don't have to be like me. I'm going to, confession time for Evo here. Every day, almost every day, I check 2 things. I check my download stats, and I check the information on Chartable. Chartable, by the way, chartable.com, great little service. You should totally utilize it if you're interested in a better, it's the same data, but it's presented differently. It's better data, I think. I look at those things every single day, and here's the deal. It doesn't always bring me joy, to be really, really honest, either for my own content or even I check for my client stuff too. And it doesn't necessarily bring me joy to be looking at those things. So if that's not a goal of yours, and in fact, as I start rethinking myself and my position right here, what I get every single day for the 4 days a week when I sit down behind the microphone with the phone pointed at me and start the show every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, is I'm wondering, I'm happy with this show. I'm happy with the contents. I'm happy with the way that it's going on right now. So why do I care about things like download numbers? Because that's all what other people are saying. I get plenty of great feedback on the contents of the show from people, some who watch me record it live, and some who talk about it afterwards, and some who see me on the streets and say, man, I really love that information. So that's the affirmation I need right there for my show. Why do I care so much about the downloads and stuff? I guess what my thought here is, if you're going to lean into doing it for the love, then lean into the love. Figure out what it is that trips your endorphin triggers in your brain. What is it about doing a show that causes that love to flow from your brain? Well, I guess it stays in your brain where all this stuff happens. What is it about that? And then don't worry about the rest of the stuff. I sometimes forget that as I jump on Facebook groups, Reddit, other sources, when new people, younger podcasters, and I don't mean younger in age, I mean younger in the time they've been podcasting, are jumping on, and you get old salty dogs like me coming in and, kind of poo-pooing on the things that they're doing because it's not polished and professional. Yeah, well, here's the deal. Maybe they don't want to do that. There are people that walk by the gym every single day who don't go because it's not a cost factor. They don't want to. It's not important. Sure, everybody wants to be healthier, I guess, at whatever that means to them, but they don't care about doing that. They don't buy the super high-end fashions all the time, not because they're outrageously priced, they can't afford them, because they don't want to. They don't want to. And I don't think automatically that the reverse of I don't think that loving your podcast means you should be a total slob. I don't think that's a requirement. If you want to be a slob, go ahead. There are plenty of people who look great who don't necessarily fit the same mold of what we would say is perfect. Yeah. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe we should just kind of forget about trying to be perfect and trying to be who we actually are. A little bit of soul searching from me today, but that's okay. You can do that. There are plenty of businesses out there that work for this too, right? I mean, lots of small business owners don't have big, huge 5-year plans. They don't have huge growth trajectories. They're not trying to get 100 times revenue increase year over year. I'm rethinking a lot of things, kids. I'm rethinking a lot of things. And if you're thinking maybe podcasting might be right for you or your business and you want somebody who can think, smart about this stuff, let's talk. Get in touch with me, evo@podcastlaunch.pro. You can go to podcastlaunch.pro to check out all the services I offer my clients. And I shall be back tomorrow with yet another Podcast Pontifications. Cheers!